Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Alpha Mindset. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and watched my first episode on how to find your passion. Because if you did, that's great. We're going to use what you learned from that episode in today's show on how to craft a career path. We got to first talk about something very basic. What is a career? A career is an individual's journey through learning, work, and other aspects of life. So, therefore, that means that even if you're still in school right now, everything that you're doing to learn is contributing to your career. In the first episode, I talked a lot about finding your passion, because your passion is definitely a very important part of your career. However, it is not the only part. In fact, there are two other very important things you have to consider in crafting your career. One, your passion, of course. Two, your skills. What are you actually good at? And three, the job market. Where is the money? You want your career to incorporate all three of these because it's gonna give you this competitive advantage. Wait, pause. That was actually kinda important. What is a competitive advantage? This is like your special sauce, that thing that makes you unique, what everyone knows is your strong point. Whenever I think about the importance of your competitive advantage, I picture Nicki Minaj having a job as a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. I mean, Nicki's a beast and she can do whatever she wants, but wouldn't it be a waste of all that Nicki is blessed with if she didn't pursue a career in music? Her passion is music, obviously. Her specific skill set, however, is what sets her apart from other artists, because she's a rapper and she's exceptionally talented at it. If Nicki entered the music business as a singer, she would have lost to the Taylor Swifts and the Beyoncés of the world. But instead, Nicki carved out a unique brand for herself based on her ability to murder a verse. Lastly, she's making money while doing this, which is no easy feat in the music business. If you take away one thing from this episode, do not let your passion, skills, talents, or your ability to make money go to waste. Unleash your inner Nicki. So to recap what passion is from the last episode, the reason why you want to do something that you're passionate about is because your passion is a source of sustainable, natural, completely free energy that will fuel you to do well in your career. Now, number two are your skills. So your skills are things that you are good at. To figure out what your skills are, you might find it helpful to ask your friends and family, hey, mom, dad, friend, what am I good at? And this might actually surprise you. You might end up hearing responses of things that you're good at that you really had no idea. Like, oh, I never thought about that. I didn't know I was good at this thing. One part of your skills might be your natural talents. These are things that you've always been naturally really good at without even really trying that hard. So for example, if in PE you were able to run a mile in like 6 minutes and you wouldn't even break a sweat, you're probably pretty naturally athletic. So you should play to your strengths. If you can run that mile in 6 minutes, like that says something about who you are and what you've been naturally blessed with. Because if you're not using your natural talents, you're wasting them. Now on the other hand, your skills might also be things that you're not necessarily naturally good at, but you have practiced and honed in on over the years and now you're really good at this thing. Okay, now lastly it leaves the job market. The job market is, it is a doozy to explain. This one in my opinion is probably the most difficult one to understand because it requires you to understand the economy around you. Wait, let's pause for a quick econ lesson. So the job market is just like any other marketplace where you have things for sale. You have people who are buying things and people who are selling things. People like yourself, job seekers, are the sellers. You're willing to sell your time, your energy, your smarts, your talents, your brain power in exchange for money. And on the other hand, employers are the shoppers. They're willing to pay a certain amount of money for a person depending on what they do and how much experience they have. But take note, not all jobs are created equal. Some jobs pay more, some jobs pay less. So to illustrate this example, let's take a look at a marketplace we're probably all too familiar with, Target. So at Target, clothing tends to be pretty affordable, but look, this jumpsuit is 44 bucks. It's kind of expensive. Oh, but it turns out it's from their limited edition Lilly Pulitzer collection. So that makes more sense. People are willing to pay more for a famous designer. Okay, now let's mosey on over to the basic section. Now we have a lot of basic tees for $6, $7, $8. These items probably always sell because they're versatile, they come in a lot of colors, and they're a wardrobe staple. Alright, now let's go over to the clearance section. Let's look at this dress for example. Target tried to sell it originally for $27.99 but wasn't able to, so now this item has not one, not two, but 3 clearance tags on it, and now it is priced at $8.38, which is 70% off the original selling price, and still nobody has purchased it. The truth is, you can't force someone to buy something that they don't want. The same thing goes for employers. You can't force a company to hire you if they're not willing to pay for you. Some jobs pay a lot, like the Lilly Pulitzer dress, people are just willing to pay more for that item. Some jobs don't pay as much, but they're still in high demand, like those basic basic tees. People are always willing to pay for those kinds of jobs. And then there are just certain jobs that people are just not willing to pay much for, like that clearance sale dress. If you drop the price low enough, maybe someone will come along and snatch it up, but it's a long shot. And then there's just some jobs that are non-existent. If you have a passion in life, like, I don't know, professional Pop-Tart tasting, it's probably going to be really hard to find someone to hire you for that. But the good news is that if you're so passionate about it, just keep it as a hobby on the side. Just do it on the weekends, do it for fun. The moral of the story is, don't be this dress. Try to at least be the basic tee, or even better, be the Lily Pulitzer jumpsuit. Well, you want to create a career path where you are doing something that you're passionate about, something that you're skilled at, and something that the job market actually is willing to pay you for. However, this is not easy. It might take you years to get to this point, and that's perfectly okay. You do not need to have your whole life's plan figured out right now. The best thing to do is just get going, just start working and get experience. And if I could suggest my own personal path that I followed, I actually didn't look for all three at the same time. First, I looked for a job that would support myself so I could find an apartment and live my own and pay for a car. And then once I had that, I looked for opportunities to incorporate my strengths and my skills, which made me a lot more valuable at my company and therefore gave me a lot of job stability. And then lastly, I started looking for opportunities to incorporate my passion into the mix. And because of that, I feel like I have a very balanced lifestyle.
I think also always be willing to pivot and listen to your inner voice, because sometimes you might think you want something, it might not be it, but maybe you're learning something really important from pursuing that.
Don't worry about having it all figured out. Just enjoy the journey. Your career is a great way to build yourself. Thank you so much for tuning into this latest episode of The Alpha Mindset. This week's music comes from two amazing women. The first song was by Daryn Alexus, and the second song was by Crawford, who's actually one of my very own followers. Thank you, ladies, for letting me share your music with the world. Go check them out. If you believe that you have the Alpha Mindset, then hit subscribe and join the Alpha Empire. Here on the Alpha Mindset, I'm going to help you get through becoming an adult. We'll cover scary topics like what the heck is insurance, what to do if you get into a car accident, how to write a resume, and that scary thing called taxes. Stay tuned.